Hi, welcome to the Online Jewelry Academy. I'm Professor John Ahr, and no, I'm not a doctor, I just play one on TV. But here today I'm going to show you how to seal your copper jewelry. Now, I constantly demonstrate on the OJA channel using copper. You can make any of the projects with any metal you want, but some of you have written in and said that you love the copper, but that you're sad to see your copper jewelry turn penny brown. Well, there's a way to prolong that bright, clean finish and make it wearable. And that's if you seal the jewelry. Now, for larger projects, you may want to use a spray-on finish. Now, this is not the polyurethane that you get at the hardware store. This is a finish that you would get at an art supply store. And you can get it in either a matte or a gloss finish. And like I said, this is for a larger project. For most little projects, I would suggest using a can of shellac. You'll also need some binding wire, a pair of diagonal cutters, and some Q-tips or at least some pieces of paper towel. It's super easy, and this is all you do. Once you get your shellac mixed up, open up your can, and you're going to take a small piece of binding wire and just create a loop that is strong enough to suspend your piece of jewelry from. So in this case, I'm putting an earring into it. So I've got my loop holding my jewelry, and all I want to do is just take a quick dip into the solution, shake it a little bit, let all the drips that you can possibly get off of it over the can drip back into the can, and then you bring it over to your drying rack that you made out of a common coat hanger, and if you see any little drips on the bottom, just dab them away with a Q-tip or the piece of paper towel. Let this dry for about 24 hours before you touch it, and you should be just fine. So here's some follow-up tips that you may want to think about. Number one, when you do this, the jewelry needs to be perfectly clean, and you don't want to handle it with your fingertips after you take it out of, say, the pickle pot or the tumbler. The residual oils in your fingers are going to leave smudges on the jewelry that are going to promote oxidation underneath the shellac. Now, even though I've dipped these pieces in the shellac and they're going to stay bright longer, they will continue to oxidize a little bit underneath the shellac. So over time, you may get a little bit of that turning that makes it look a little bit more brown instead of bright pinky red. And you may need to clean off the old shellac, clean up the copper jewelry one more time, and then dip it again to give it a fresh new look. The other thing that I would recommend is still use your sterling silver 20 gauge round ear wires. Don't substitute with copper that's dipped because it can wear off. So even if you dip with the ear wire, you might actually want to take your Q-tip and clean off the shellac from the ear wire so that your customer doesn't potentially have a reaction to it. That's it for the tips. Now, if you'd like more tips along these lines, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you'd like to see any of the videos from our playlist, you can find them here on YouTube, or you can find them on our website at onlinejewelryacademy.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to those of you who've made contributions, thank you so much for helping us to sustain the OJA. And to those of you who haven't contributed yet, we'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching.